Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I've been having a shitty week. So, in order to lock you into this video, I will talk about the two great things that happened this week, and then I will talk and complain about everything else that happened. And then, after a while of complaining, I will be talking about the topic of the day, which is what's the line between diagnosis and labels and just how the regular person is. So let's get into it. The two good things that happened this week is, first of all, I came out to my work on Monday. I came out during the morning meeting, which was a thing. I didn't know that I could do this, but I did it, and I'm very proud of myself. And my coworkers were super nice about it, and I got some hugs, and everybody was so happy. I gave them, I had a bowl full of M&Ms that people ate, and it was a great experience, and it did lift the weight off my shoulders. I still haven't come out to my parents, so I still have a little bit of that weight, but still. And on Thursday, I had an after work with my friends and colleagues. And it was really fun. I was with younger doctors and a young nurse. And it's just nice to be around people my age for a while and not just be around middle-aged people who are in a different style of life. So we had pizza and rosé wine. That was really fun. So now let me get into my complaining. Okay, I've been feeling really bad. I don't know if it's because I came out and then that meant that I used up all my energy on Monday. But I did I did go to work every day. It's just I was so tired and I had nightmares every night, and it was bad. I had a dream that I couldn't hear music anymore. I had a dream that I was just screaming. I don't know why I was screaming. I was just screaming and screaming, and I was like in a sleep paralysis kind of mode. So I just screamed, and then I woke up and I don't know if I was still screaming, So, and then there was a night where I was so on edge that I couldn't sleep. I tried to sleep on the sofa, I couldn't. And then I went to work the next day. My supervisor hasn't been, she's on holiday, so that's been a little bit difficult for me. I did write to her actually on Friday, and I said I can't keep going, and she just said, your mental health goes first. Okay, don't worry about work. And so that was very nice of her. I had something else that happened is that I found out that my pediatrics placement is in 2028, and I'm supposed to finish my residency in 2027. So it just really made me feel hopeless about this whole residency situation. I did talk to another doctor about this. He's an ESFP, lots of stories about him. But he was just like, don't worry, you can do whatever, you can do what you want. What I like about ESFPs is that they do have TE, they have TE and SE in higher positions than what I have. So like they can actually do things while at the same time following their FI. So that was all the complaining, I think. I have more complaining. I have the person that I was driving with, she came up to me after her holidays, and now she's like pushing me to go to a driving school, and so that we can drive, and then I can be applied to driving school so that I can take my test. And I've just given up on driving. I just can't drive. and I can't deal with anything after work ever. That like things that like are tasks. Going to an after work is fun, and I don't consider it a task in the same way. But this is just, and so when she told me that, I froze and I was like, no. And she was like, you can't give up now. And I'm like, I just want to give up. I can't take any extra demands on my system for some reason. So my burnout is really hindering me. But like I can't do more than what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to survive day by day. So when she said that, I just wanted to cry and go home. And same thing happened when I'm going to be doing a journal club. It's not as fun as it sounds. Basically, journal club is once every month somebody talks about a study, and we talk about the study together. So you present the study and then there's discussion. And I said yes to doing this study in September, but I just thought that it would be an easy task, but it ends up being much more than what I had signed up for. And this ESTJ doctor who's really into this, she told me, she kept pestering me all the time. At lunch, at the coffee, she was sending me emails. And in the end, I just transferred the email to my boss and I said, I can't deal with this. I don't think that I am in a position, like in my mental health, to be able to do this. I'll gladly take it in October, but I can't do this in September. And my boss was really nice about it. But the reason I took it on was because I didn't want the younger doctors who have never actually seen how a journal club works start. I wanted to, so I was sacrificing myself for them, but that didn't work out. Anyway, those are all the things that have been weighing on me. The other thing that's been weighing on me is that my brother is moving this weekend, and he's moving back into my parents' house, which is obviously causing a lot of tension. And so I've been on edge, and I've recorded this video like 5 times. Usually I don't re-record so many times. And I was so on edge. I was wearing headphones. I tried. So I'm doing this in the middle of the night because I can't sleep. So sorry about the lighting. I don't have good light in here. So that was it about all of my complaining. Now let's go into what my subject is. And the subject is labels and diagnoses and what is what. And I'll be linking a video down in the description box, which is going to be about, or I don't know, up here, whatever, up there, I guess, which will be about, it's a video essay. I've been really into video essays lately. And the video essay is about self-diagnosis of autism. His channel is Are They Yay? Because he's gay and he types people as gay or not, or fictional characters as gay. And that's been the premise of his show, but he made this one about a completely different subject, which was about is self-diagnosis valid? What is an official diagnosis? What is the effect of capitalism on all of us and on psychiatry? It's a really good video, so I recommend that you check that out. I've also been reading this book, that's a Swedish book called Homo Patologicus, and the guy who wrote it, I'm guessing that he's a middle-aged guy who's a philosopher. He's not a doctor, and also he's not a millennial or a Gen Zer, because sometimes his book is a little bit where he questions if ADHD is even a real thing. you know. So I'm not on that end of the spectrum of I think that labels can be useful because we can get help from society, we can get medications for different things, and it's not just part of our identity. I mean, sometimes it is a disease that requires special accommodations. And I was thinking about, because somebody in my comments, he has a YouTube channel, I can't remember his name, Mindful Introvert or something. He wrote that he was interested in knowing more about my identity as queer. Okay. I've been against the word queer for some stupid reasons in the past. Some people on Tumblr, you know, on Tumblr you meet all sorts of weird ideas that queer is a slur and that therefore should not be used by LGBT people, blah, blah, blah. This is like 2015 discourse on Tumblr. Anyway, when I come out to somebody, I say that I'm gay. And if I feel a little bit closer to the person, I'll say that I'm lesbian. Because that word has somehow a more negative connotation than gay, which we should change, but you know, that's how it is. These labels, they have connotations, they have stigmas attached to them. Psychiatric illnesses have a negative connotation to them, but some of them have a more positive connotation. So like psychosis is like worse connotation than having ADHD. Even though maybe somebody with psychosis is less affected by psychosis than an ADHD person. Maybe the person with psychosis only had it once in their life, while the ADHD person has to deal with their problems every day. So there isn't a really logical reason for why certain things are seen in certain ways. And same thing goes for the LGBT community. So lesbian feels a little bit more closer to the dyke side of the scale of like socially acceptable to not socially acceptable word. I mean, some words are actual slurs that have not been reclaimed by the community. But queer, because of my synesthesia, I don't like the letter Q for some reason. So I just don't like the word queer because it just feels like a repulsive letter at the beginning of the word, which is a very stupid reason to not like a word. I know, but that's why I haven't been introducing myself as queer. But if somebody were to ask me like in more detail, like, oh, you're gay, like, do you only like women, or what do you mean? Like, the answer would be I'm queer, because I'm into girls, but I'm also asexual, and I don't want to get into all that, you know. Asexuality is not at all something that people know. Just check out my asexuality video, because the comments there are ridiculous. I think I've deleted most of the bad ones, but you know, even gay people don't understand that asexuality is a thing. People who have heard that I'm asexual often think that I'm just traumatized or that I haven't found the right person yet. And that includes some of my closest friends. So I don't really go out and reveal that I'm asexual. Because I usually am not messed with good stuff. So saying that I'm queer encompasses everything. So that's why I like that. I like that label, because I don't need to get into the details. Who cares who I've dated? Like, when I come out to people as gay and they're like straight people, they're always like, oh, how is dating a girl? How many girls have you dated? Oh, like, they're interested in like my love life to an extreme degree. And if I was straight, nobody would be like asking me all these questions. And because they haven't asked me before I came out. And so I know that they're just trying to be nice and to seem interested in my life and my identity. But I'm not about to get into all of the nuances of arrow ace spectrum and all of these micro identities that Tumblr has come up with in 2014 or whatever. I do want to identify with the LGBTQIA community, and queer is just an easier way to say that. And queer can mean anything, but it means the only thing that I'm certain of is that I don't like guys in the same way that straight girls like guys. That's about it. I'm not sure about like, do I sometimes like guys? I don't know. Because if I'm asexual, like everything goes into each other. And I don't know if I romanticize people because I'm an INFP. There are all sorts of factors. Anyway, that's one label. Another label that, like, you know, is controversial. Labels are not diagnoses, but diagnoses are labels, you know. In this book, he kind of disses on the HSP concept because HSP, highly sensitive person, is not a diagnosis, but it is a label and is supposed to be scientific. Like, you know, it provides an explanation for why some people are the way that they are. But what he says is that the human condition is to suffer. Okay, unfortunately. And the human condition is to suffer. It's just the way that we suffer is different now than it has been in other times. We're not used to suffering anymore, and we have to find labels to like put our identity to understand why we are suffering, rather than just accepting suffering as like a fact of life, and accepting that everybody is different, which would be the better future, you know. So this is where I come into neurodiversity. Neurodiversity is everyone is neurodiverse. Neurodiverse is an adjective that describes every brain, or like the whole of humanity is neurodiverse because every brain works differently. And even neurotypical people are neurodiverse because they don't think the same way as each other. But some people are neurodivergent, and that means that they are so far on the scale of the Gaussian scale that they're in like the minority of what a neurotypical brain is like. And obviously, where does the border go? That is defined in the DSM, the Diagnostic Symptom Manual. That is the Bible for psychiatrists and psychologists, where all of the symptoms criteria for different diseases and diagnoses are put together. So seeing all that, so what makes a person neurodivergent? Neurodivergence is not a diagnosis, but it is a way to understand, because some people are so that their neurodiversity causes them a disability. That's what neurodivergent means. So it puts them at a disadvantage. And so I would say that I would qualify as neurodiverse. I don't need to be officially diagnosed with anything in order to call myself neurodiverse or neurodivergent. Anyone can say that they're neurodiverse because that's just what that means. I can say that I'm neurodivergent without needing an official diagnosis, because it's not even a diagnosis, it's just a label. And I would argue that INFPs are neurodivergent because the way our brain works is different from the norm, and the norm and being at odds with the norm is a little bit of a disability for us. I'm sure that there are INFPs who feel like being an INFP is such a gift and not a disability, and so, well, those people don't need to call themselves neurodivergent if they don't want to. But I feel like being an INFP does put us a little bit at a disadvantage. And so neurodivergence can be, it's not only ADHD and autism. Because if you went to say ADHD and autism, that's just saying ADHD and autism. There's also, you can be neurodivergent because of depression, you can be neurodivergent because of OCD, because of Tourette's, because of learning disabilities, all sorts of things. And I think that I am neurodivergent. Whether I have an ADHD or an autism diagnosis does not matter. It does matter, though, if I went to receive accommodations for my possible disability. Okay. I can still relate to people who are neurodivergent much more than I can relate to the neurotypical person, meaning that I relate to other INFPs a whole deal more than neurotypical people. Basically the SJs that are the great majority of this population, but SJs can be neurodivergent as well. But it's probably because of other factors than just MBTI. So yeah, so all of these labels actually do mean something. Diagnoses is not the same as labels. And so I've just went through 2 labels that are very general that I feel describe me. So I don't feel like I'm put into a box. But sometimes you need to be put into a box, unfortunately. And I did go in my last videos that I made before making this one, I went on a rant about boomers versus Gen Zers, and I went into other rants, so I'll stop there. I do think, though, that we have to give some credit to Gen Z and millennials, because I have the millennial depression and the Zoomer ADHD probably, and it's not nice, okay, to just say that young people have become soft and that they can't deal with anything, that they are stuck on their computers or their telephones all day. I hear my mom berating my brother. It's just sad, you know. We shouldn't be treating individuals or even generations as like they're being weaker or stronger or like lazier or whatever than us, because we need to like see there are different reasons for why things are the way that they are, and it's often not the individual's fault. I mean, would the boomers have been as annoyed at kids on their phones if they themselves had technology in their day? No, probably not. I mean, we have our differences and it's fine, but to say that ADHD is because we're all on our phones is wrong. Okay. There is something to it that we are that our phones makes us lose concentration. But ADHD, like the origins, the etiology is so complex that you can't just say these things like you're so smart. Okay. I've just been a little bit tired of boomers, especially of boomer doctors who are like, oh, back in my day it was easy, you know, like, or like it was so tough and I managed it, you know, because why would you want the younger generations to suffer like you did, you know? So I feel like I'm all over the place, but I think that this is the final video that I'm finally going to post. Tell me what you guys think. I will be putting some links in the description of video essays that I've been watching, and have a great day.